Hey, guys, it's Sabrina coming at you on a Friday for a beautiful Creators Talent Collab. I will introduce you to those ladies here in just a second. Here is our first little project, bringing you some cute, quick, easy Easter spring decor. We're going to start with that cute little bucket that I got from Dollar General and this little disc foam that I'm pretty sure came from Dollar Tree. If it's not Dollar General, Dollar Tree, or it's Hobby Lobby. We're going to take some moss here. I'm just going to set it on top of that foam. And I apologize for camera angle about more than half of this video. I am so far down at the bottom you can't see. But I will try to explain the best I can. But these are so easy. You guys know what to do. I actually probably could have made this a 10-minute video. Look, I'm not even talking about the project because it's easy. Okay, now here, cute stuff. These things are cute, guys. I got lots of cutesies, and then one a little bit more refined, I guess you could say. So we got a bunny bum there. I just stuck that skewer down through the foam. Notice my foam didn't go all the way to the bottom, but I didn't want it to. I didn't glue it. I didn't glue the moss. I glued nothing in. Okay, that way I can take it all apart and redo it. Okay, so like everybody else does with these carrots, now these carrots I believe came from Dollar General about a year or two ago. These are not Dollar Tree carrots. So that's like a really thick orange burlap on the outside, and they're pretty darn sturdy. And that pick that's on those things, holy cow. I may have actually got them at Hobby Lobby. They've been in my stash anyway. Like everybody else does, I'm sure you have seen, you pull the green stuff off the end and you just glue in some replacement. So I had some greenery in my stash. Don't ask me. I showed you the label. It said bloom. Maybe that's a Michael's thing. I don't know. Now those carrots are Dollar Tree carrots. And I've got some smaller ones, some medium ones, and then of course we got our fancy ones there. I'm going to doctor all of them up. We're going to pull that stuff out and put some greenery in, just some scraggly looking greenery, and just make it look a little bit more carroty, I guess you could say. And yeah, I throw my hands around a lot in this because, yeah, some of these foam carrots, the skewer wouldn't go in. Yeah, not good. Anyway, so I just stuck them in. No hot glue. No hot glue at all. Had my bunny bum. That little Happy Easter wooden thing came in a pack from Hobby Lobby. And yes, if it's Hobby Lobby, I have made sure it is on sale. Taking that cabana something, I think it was, and I just took a sponge pouncer and pounced it on top. It took about maybe 2 coats. Very easy, very quick. Got another skewer stick. All these little skewer sticks like this are the barbecue skewers from Dollar Tree. And I glued it on the end where that T part was because that was longer in. I literally left this in because you ladies, you know you love the moose man. He is trying to help mama fill the bucket. I was literally just going to keep the carrots in here. This little sign is really cute. I'm trying to attach it to the handle. Moose wasn't having it. Anyway, we figure it out later. Okay, ladies. So here I have some foam eggs. Those are from Dollar Tree, but they were sparkly, glittery ones. And you know, I don't do the sparkly, glittery too much. So I painted them and then I speckled them with some splatter paint in black and then stuck all that in. And I was going to leave it just like that. That's it. You'll see here in just a second that that's not it because you know I can't stop. Boom! You'll see it more in the final review, but review. Anyway, here are these beautiful ladies hosting this for us, and I got to be a guest host, and I was so honored. Thank you, ladies, for inviting me. You guys go check out their channel links in my description box, as well as the playlist link to see what all of these beautiful, talented ladies have created. Again, thank you, Donna, for inviting me to be a guest host. Love you, ladies. All right, guys, here's you another easy, cute project here. By the way, you saw lots of florals in that bucket with the carrots and the bunny bum. Yeah. Okay, so those three little bunnies came from Dollar General in a pack with some beads, and you can make a garland out of it. I'm going to take those and I pulled all their tails off. And then I've got me some different sheets of scrapbook paper here. And I'm just going to trace around them, cut them out. When I go to cut them out, I'm going to cut on the outside of the line. That way there's a little extra. So if I kind of goof, it's not too bad and we can sand it off with our sander. I'm just going to take my glue stick. Here I'm trying to rub some of that hot glue from their bunny tails that I ripped off. But don't worry, somebody's going to get one. So I just put the glue. I probably should have put the glue on the paper, but I put the glue on the bunny, so it got on the edges, and so that was a kind of a bad idea. Put your glue on the paper, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, put your glue on the paper. I don't know what I was thinking this night, except I wasn't thinking. Yeah. And I've got this little scraper. It came in like a bag of loot from the Goodwill. And I was like, I bought the bag just for that. But it was like $3 and it had all sorts of wood pieces and oh goodness, all sorts of loot. Anywho, we're going to let those dry, sand them down. You see, I got my other ones up there as well. Now, here's a little sign that my friend Shelly gave me, and my girls played softball. So at the time when they were little, well, little, high school, junior high, that sign was for them. They played softball. Very talented ladies. I miss watching them play. Whoa, love me some softball. Fun fact, if you didn't know that about Sabrina here, love me some softball, and both my girls played, and I miss it so much. I never thought I'd miss sweating my honey off and getting sweat in places that I didn't even know I had watching them play, but I miss it. Y'all enjoy them while they're little. Anywho, I painted that whole thing with some black chalk paint. I didn't rip the paper off or nothing. Inside, outside, the whole shebang. I got this beautiful paper that looks like wood shiplap from my beautiful friend Joanna at Joanna's DIYs. And I just cut that to fit. I cut a lot of this video out because, of course, when I cut it, I had to trim it 500 times to actually get it to fit. Taking my scraper there, used my glue stick, put it on the paper this time, and then use that scraper again to flatten it out and get all the bumps and lumps out. I then took my little X-Acto knife and cut around the edge because there was still some little extra, and I end up goofing up a corner. You can see it in the bottom right of the frame there, but that's okay. It'll get covered. I've got some of those little cubes from the Dollar Tree, wooden cubes, and I'm gluing them to the bottom of each one of the bunnies. Okay. Now my green plaid buffalo check bunny and the blue bunny over there are not going to have a tail because from Hobby Lobby, thanks to my friend Joanna and Tiffany at Simply Blessed Crafts, they introduced me to these adorable glasses that you can get at Hobby Lobby. I want to put them on everything, and you literally will see them again in another project. Now, I got this idea from the beautiful Craft-tastic DIYs, and she made this little project. I, of course, put my own spin on it, but I got the little saying that I put on it here in a little bit. And the way the bunnies, two are going to be facing us, or those are the boys. The boys are going to face us with the glasses. My little girl got her tail back, and she's facing backwards, and I'm going to set her to the back. This is why I put the little cubes on, the little wooden blocks, because I didn't want them flat against the back of the frame piece there. Yeah. I put her almost all the way to the back, and my boys are going to sit up front here. Our boys gonna kind of protect our girl there right in the middle. Yeah. I'm just hot gluing them on. Guys, use wood glue or your tight bond. For time reasons, I just used the hot glue. Now, what I'm showing you here is I should have Mod Podged every bit of that before I glued them in, before I glued the eyes and the tail on, but of course I didn't. I made a little sign on my Cricut, and this is where the beautiful Craftastic DIYs came in. I'll link her channel down below or in my description box. But this is her saying I saw that she had on her sign with the two bunnies facing forward and the one facing backwards. And it's just so stinking adorable. I had to do it. So I did do it on my Cricut, but if you don't have one, get letters, stencil. Every bunny be cool. Everybody be cool. Everybody, just be cool. Okay, now you can see I didn't get it on there very straight. It's more over to the right. So to kind of cover that gap over here on the left, I just made a little, I was about to say trashy bow, which kind of looks that way, doesn't it? Little scrappy bow, shaggy bow. Yeah, just all sorts of different kinds of ribbon that I had. No problem. I've got everything. I'm crafting my stash. Every video you see is I'm crafting my stash. I'm trying not to buy any more things, but Hobby Lobby comes into play once in a while. And then I glued a little another foam egg in the middle and then gave her a little bow on her ear. And what I'm doing now is, since his little belly was up higher than his feet, you could see the wooden block that I glued to the back of him. So I just took my black paint and a very teeny tiny paintbrush and painted them. Now, I did not get inside and paint the inside of the blocks, but if you wanted to, you could. But this helped to blend it at the bottom. Y'all, here you go, ladies. Right here. Here's your moose man. You gotta love him. Here I'm trying to work. You can see I've got my floral cutter, wire cutters down there. Yeah, he wasn't letting it happen. He was like, Mama, right here. And he enjoys the heat gun. Don't worry, guys. It's not hurting him. Yeah, I've got it far away, just breezing him around, moving it around. He loves that thing. He just eats it up. Support the Moose Man, because I might have to buy another heat gun. There you go, barcode for buy me a coffee. Anyway, here we go with little project number 3, another quick, easy one. Now, this is the more elegant one, I guess you could say. So I had this jar in my stash that I had a parent of one of my kids long time ago paint for me, and it's cream color, and then she painted kind of like a ruler on the side, but I've been so rough with it, the paint's chipped off and all that. So I sanded it down because it was the creamy color, and then I repainted it with some white chalk paint. And then I sanded it down again to smooth it and then get the back of the mason part there to show, because I just think that's cool. We are going to take those window clings that I got from the Dollar Tree. I bought them like a year ago, but I did see them at my Dollar Tree this year. And so we're going to take our matte Mod Podge, because I don't like the glossy. You don't want no shiny, no. And I'm going to go ahead because we need to coat this anyway so that this time it doesn't chip. And then this bunny, is he not adorable? I'm going to call her a she. She got a little flower in her ear. She's so adorable. I use my fan brush. I love using my fan brush. I have got to get to Brandy at the DIY struggle and get me some of her fan brushes. Woo! Once I got those on, I then gave it another coat of Mod Podge all over, except for the very top up there, because we're going to glue some of that ribbon you see up there at the top. What I'm doing right now is taking an antique wax, of course, and I've got this cool little brush that came in 3 sizes. I got it off Temu. I'm sure you could find them on Amazon. And I want this to be really dark under the bunny because I wanted it to look like he was in dirt. And then I took it and kind of brushed it on the jar. I used a dry paper towel. I used a wet wipe. I dipped the wet wipe. You can see I got another little makeup brush thing there that I used. And I just kept playing with this probably for a good 30 minutes till I got it where I wanted it. Now, I did not put any of the wax up at the top, since I'm going to be gluing that ribbon on. I wanted to make sure that it would stick. Now, this pretty colorful ribbon came in like a seasonal pack from Michael's, where they kind of take a bunch, like a yard of 20 different kinds of ribbon, and kind of bundle it together, and you buy the bundle. So this was a really pretty bundle. I had to get this one, but it was like last year or 2 years ago. Moose is playing with all my eggs, and this is why I can't have nice things. Sorry, guys. Yeah, there it goes. If you hear a crash, I'm gluing the ribbon under that bottom ring that's on there. Now, remember, your rings aren't straight around the top of your mason jars, so you got to kind of roll with it the best you can. So, of course, this isn't going to be perfect. So you can see I got that pretty colorful fringy looking ribbon, which the colors matched our bunny and the little floral decals that I put on there. And then I'm going to take this jute twine lace ribbon that came from a pack from the Dollar Tree. I like the way it looked with the loops, so I just took that, glued it on the top. You can now see that there's another layer of that fringy ribbon that I put underneath it. Yeah, don't do that. That's hard. I made a finger bow with jute twine because I wanted something over on that side, since you see the blue butterfly over on the right. I felt like I needed something hanging there. And then that little wooden butterfly I got from Dollar Tree in a package and gave it some wax and put that in the middle. Now, here you go again, ladies, for you Moose Man lovers. I'm trying to put florals in the top of the jar, right? Yep, sure am. I'm also trying to show you, I'm sure most of you know this trick, but like if you've got florals and they've been stuck in a tote or crammed in a thing somewhere like mine are, take your heat gun and just fluff them out. But make sure don't, if it's got plastic parts or anything like that, it's also good for your leaves too. So I'm sitting here and just Moose Man wants to help mom put it together. Here's some beautiful lavender that I got at Hobby Lobby. It says 16, but you know I didn't get it for 16. I waited till the sale. And then you see those bunny ears that are in there? I got those at Walmart. Ooh, so excited to have those. And you could put anything you want in there. You don't have to put all those florals. I just threw them in there for now. Okay, you can still find these at Dollar Tree, but I got them when it was $1.25 and they were a 4-pack. I think they're $1.50 for a 2-pack now. I'm sure you have seen this. I saw Miss Holly do this and I thought they were adorable. These are Pinterest inspirations or things that I have seen other crafters do on other channels. So if you guys have seen these, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to make them for myself. Some of these things I've wanted to make for like 2 years. So Miss Holly at Hot Humble Pie showed us this one. So I'm taking this little bunny bag. I showed you could use tissue paper, you could use plastic bags. I went with the yarn because I've had that in my stash forever because I wanted it to be like squishy and poofy. I tried it with the tissue paper and it made it look bumpy and wrinkly and yeah, we didn't want all that. So once you get it in, and you can see I just kept wrapping it until I got how much I wanted in there, then I cut it off, stuffed it in, pinched the ears together because those are his little ears. Took the jute twine that did come with the little bags, and then I poofed him, squished him. The yarn worked so good compared to the tissue paper that I first used. Now, those really don't look like ears right now. So, what I saw Miss Holly do at Hot Humble Pie, she kind of snipped it and then she yanked and pulled all the way down to the jute twine. And this makes it more look like he's or she, we're going to have a girl and a boy, have ears. So, there we go, busting out the glasses again. Thank you, Joanna and Tiffany. So we're going to make us a little dude here. Here's our boy. And then we're going to take the little heart glasses and make us a little girl. Now, I do add some more embellishments. I add some florals and some little greenery picks. And then I also take I think it's sweet plum or, yeah, spun sugar, whatever, and my makeup palette here. And of course, nothing really gave me the pink I wanted. You can see Girl Bunny with the heart glasses there. I did her. I'm just showing you how I did it with the boy here. I wish I had a pink that matched the pink on their cheeks, but I don't. All that eyeshadow and blush right there, and I don't have a pink in that mess. Anyway, here's the boy. I add a little bow to the bottom of his neck, like a bow tie. There's our little girl. She's got a bow and some flowers in her hair, but it still doesn't quite look like a girl. I was thinking of adding some eyelashes to her, but I didn't want to mess it up. So I just left her alone. You guys let me know what else I could do to make her kind of look like a girl. But here we go, guys. Here's the final reveal. There's our little girl stuffing. Here is our little bucket with our bunny butt with not only carrots, but every bunny is welcome with florals and eggs. And by the time I got the florals in there, I couldn't see my carrots. So then I had to put more carrots in there. And I put some greenery in there too. So you could tell those last couple carrots, I didn't change out the greenery on top because I was in a hurry. And here is our little mason jar with just some florals and those bunny ears from Walmart. Guys, I think those were only like $3 or $4, something like that. $5 max for those neat. And they're the foam, like the big foam bunnies that are out now. Had such a blast. Thank you, Donna, for inviting me to be a guest host. You're amazing. All you ladies are. Check out their channel links in my description box as well as the playlist link. I will see you guys on Monday for the real reason for the season.